Be ready. 5 seconds. Start. He further submitted that an appeal against the order rejecting the plaint for non-payment of court fee is pending before this court, and thus Section 10 CPC will have full applicability in the matter. Stop. Under Section 10 CPC, no court could proceed with trial of any suit in which the matter in issue is also directly or substantially in issue in a previously instituted suit between the same parties. Stop. Thus, for application of Section 10 CPC, stop, it is necessary that there has to be a duly instituted previous suit between the same parties in which the issue is directly and substantially the same. Stop. In the instant matter, admittedly, as per the assertions made in paragraph 13 of the affidavit, the plaint of original suit number 721 of 2005 was rejected on ground of non-payment of court fee. Stop. In para 14, it is stated that first appeal number 330 of 2008 is pending before this court. Stop. Stanza. Learned counsel for the petitioner raised several issues and contended that the principles of natural justice was violated with impunity, which caused prejudice to the petitioner, and therefore the impugned orders stood vitiated. Stop. The learned counsel submitted that a show cause notice was issued for the incident which occurred on 16/9/2007, whereas the petitioner has been expelled, taking into account his previous conduct and taking into account the intelligence report for which the petitioner was not put to notice nor an opportunity to rebut the allegations made in intelligence report was given. Stop. The non-supply of the intelligence report and by not providing an opportunity to rebut these documents seriously prejudiced the petitioner, which was in gross violation of the principles of natural justice. Stop. The learned counsel further submitted that the intelligence report, which was relied upon by the disciplinary committee, was not signed by any person and had been prepared subsequently, and therefore no cognizance on this report could be taken into consideration by the disciplinary committee. Stop. The learned counsel further submitted that the circle officer had certified that the petitioner was not involved in the destruction of the university and that the petitioner was given a clean chit and was absolved from the incident, which unfortunately had been discarded by the disciplinary committee without assigning any valid reason. Stop. The learned counsel for the petitioner further submitted that the resolution of the executive council was also liable to be questioned as it suffered from various infirmities. Stop. The learned counsel submitted that the quorum of the executive council was incomplete and therefore the resolution of the executive council stood vitiated on account of the mandatory non-compliance of having a proper quorum for holding a meeting. Stop. Further, the Vice Chancellor not only chaired the meeting of the Executive Council but also participated in the deliberations and voted for the resolution, which action of the Vice Chancellor was totally illegal since it was his own order which was challenged in the appeal. Stop. The learned counsel for the petitioner submitted that the Vice Chancellor could not be a judge of his own cause and therefore the resolution of the Executive Council stood vitiated on account of this fatal error. Stop. In support of his submission, the learned counsel for the petitioner placed stop stanza labor court in a reference made in that behalf by the state. Stop. Evidently, in the writ petition, she was not in a position to establish her legal right so as to obtain a writ of mandamus directing the appellant herein to reinstate her in service staff. She was advised to withdraw the writ petition presumably because she would not have obtained any relief in the said proceeding stop. Even the High Court could have dismissed the writ petition on the ground of delay or could have otherwise refused to exercise its discretionary jurisdiction stop. The conduct of the appellant in approaching the Labour Court after more than 7 years had therefore been considered to be a relevant factor by the Labour Court for refusing to grant any relief to her stop. Such a consideration on the part of the Labour Court cannot be said to be an irrelevant stop. The Labour Court in the aforementioned situation cannot be said to have exercised its discretionary jurisdiction injudiciously, arbitrarily, and capriciously, warranting interference at the hands of the High Court in exercise of its discretionary jurisdiction under Article 226 of the Constitution. Stop. It is also relevant to note that there may or may not now be any regular vacancy with the appellant bank stop. We have noticed herein before that in the year 1996 the vacancies had been filled up and a third party right had been created stop. It has not been pointed out to us that there exists a vacancy stop. Having considered the equities between the parties, we are of the opinion that it was not a fit case where the High Court should have interfered with the discretionary jurisdiction exercised by the Labour Court stop. For the reasons aforementioned, the impugned judgment cannot be sustained, which is set aside accordingly stop. This appeal is allowed stop. However, in the facts and circumstances of the case, there shall be no order as to costs stop stanja. This appeal has been filed under Section 28 of the Hindu Marriage Act 1955 against the judgment and decree dated 9/1/1998 passed by the Additional District Judge number 1 Bharatpur in Civil Miscellaneous Case number 14 of 1996, dismissing the application submitted by the appellant under Section 13 for the dissolution of the marriage stop stanja. The brief facts giving rise to this appeal are that the marriage between the appellant husband and the respondent wife took place on 3/12/1992, and it is urged in the petition that on or before 21/2/1993, the respondent wife tried to pour kerosene oil on herself to immolate but was prevented by the husband appellant with great difficulty stop. On the next day, that is on 22/2/1993, on information having been sent by the appellant to his in-laws, the brother of the respondent wife and her brother-in-law came and took her to her paternal home stop. It is alleged that the respondent used to behave in an abnormal manner, and it is further alleged that even prior to her marriage, she suffered from mental disorder stop. In the petition, it was alleged that the appellant made an inquiry and came to know that even prior to the marriage, the respondent wife was being treated for. While considering the first question, the High Court concluded that inasmuch as an order of ejectment of the plaintiffs from the land in dispute under Section 163 of the HP Land Revenue Act 1953 was passed on 2/4/1970 by the settlement officer, the suit having been filed about 19 years after such order is barred by limitation stop. After arriving at such conclusion on question number 1, the High Court, without going into the second question for adverting to the case of the plaintiffs by order dated 4/1/2000, allowed the second appeal, set aside the judgments and decrees passed passed by the trial court as well as by the lower appellate court and dismissed the suit of the plaintiffs as being time-barred stop. Challenging the said order, the plaintiffs have filed the present appeal stop stanza. We have already extracted the first substantial question of law which relates to limitation stop. The High Court proceeded the said issue on the ground that though stop over.